In this experiment, the interest or the whole goal is to study how vibrant nail polish can appear, considering the dye in the nail polish as a factor to its flamboyancy. This experiment is beneficial because we can make a conclusion as to whether the toxic artificial dyes are really needed. If our results prove that the natural dyes are equally vibrant in color, we can determine that the toxic dye is unneeded, providing an environment-safe way to make nail polish. In this experiment, we will be using FD&C Red No. 40, along with the all-natural pure raspberry juice as a substitute for this artificial red dye. The following is a structure for the artificial dye. For our hypothesis, we think the natural raspberry juice dye will be less vibrant than the synthetic FD&C Red No. 40 because its color is not as strong as the synthetic dyes. The 2.0 milligram per milliliter concentration of the FD&C Red No. 40 is greater than the concentration of the dye in the pure raspberries.
Some of the dyes found in regular nail polish are Yellow 5, Red 6, Red 7, Red 34, and Violet 2.
For materials, you're going to need 2 bottles of clear nail polish, 10 drops of artificial and the natural dye. The artificial dye will be the Red 40, FDC approved, and the natural dye will be from the raspberry juice. You'll need 2 glass stir rods, 2 beakers of any size, doesn't really matter, 2 hard-boiled eggs, and 2 eyedroppers.
Step 1 is to make the polish. Put the clear polish into one of the beakers. In the beaker is where the mixing will occur and the polish will be made. Put in 10 drops of the artificial food coloring inside the beaker using a dropper. Mix well with a glass stir rod. Next is repeat these steps except with the natural dye.
Step 2 is to apply the polish to the eggs. Take a paintbrush and an egg. Paint the artificial polish on one egg and the natural on the other. Be sure to use separate brushes to ensure no cross-contamination occurs. Paint an area about the size of your thumb on the egg. 3 coats will be needed on each.
We painted 3 coats of each polish on each egg. The synthetic polish looks like this, and the natural polish looks like this. As you can see from these pictures, our hypothesis was wrong. The synthetic polish was not as vibrant as the raspberry polish and also looked off-color. Instead of being pink or red, it was more of a peach and orange color. The raspberry polish was much more vibrant.
We found our hypothesis to be wrong. The FD&C Red 40 was not more vibrant than the natural raspberry juice. The color that the synthetic polish was the color within the synthetic polish was not red either. It was more of an orange than red. Random error occurred in our experiment when dealing with the pipettes. When using this tool, it is hard to control the quantity of liquid in each drop. Using the measured amount of each dye would have been a more accurate way to know the actual amount of dye used in each polish.
The biggest systematic flaw in our procedure was the fact that we could not control for the concentration of dye in the raspberries. Because this value was unknown, the amount of dye actually used in each polish was unknown as well. This made the concentrations unequal. Therefore, the concentration became an independent variable because we could not control it. This may have made our hypothesis wrong because there was more natural dye in the raspberries than the diluted FD&C Red No. 40. To correct this issue in the future, measuring out the natural dye and diluting it to the same concentration as the Red 40 would make our results less flawed. Also, the chemicals already present in the clear nail polish could have affected or distorted the color given by the natural and synthetic dyes.
Based on the results, the natural dye from fruits can be used to make vibrant nail polish. If used for mass product, it would eliminate the sometimes toxic dyes in regular nail polish. To further this experiment, we could either control both amounts of dyes to better the results or do another experiment with just natural dyes to see which one performs the best and gives the greatest amount of color to the polish.